Hello everyone, Vincent here from HDTV Test here. I'm a TV reviewer and no longer calibrating. This week, LG UK has announced the pricing and availability for their 2020 OLED televisions. And I think there have been some real surprises, so I'm going to run through them here. Let's start off with the LG CX series. I know it's meant to be pronounced as C10. X is the Roman numeral for 10, just like iPhone XS, iPhone X. But I'm going to continue calling it the CX because I think X is going to be the character that most people are going to be typing into the Google search engine. And also, I don't really care anymore after a week or so of lockdown. So let's start with the CX then. It will be available in 48-inch, 55-inch, 65-inch, and also 77-inch sizes. And I think that this is probably going to be the OLED range from LG Electronics that's going to be most popular among consumers out there, if you are still buying TV in these crazy times, of course. So the 48-inch model will cost around £1,500. The 55-inch model will cost around £1,800. The 65-inch model will cost around £2,800, while the 77-inch model will be priced at £5,000. And I think that the pricing of the 55-inch, 65-inch, and especially the 77-inch model have been really competitive compared with the launch prices of the C9 series last year. So, for example, the 55-inch C9, when it was launched last year, probably around this time as well, will be around £2,500. The 65-inch C9 was around £3,300 last year at launch, and the 77-inch C9 was maybe £7,000 at launch from memory. So there have been some significant price reduction across the board for 55-inch, 65-inch, and also 77-inch models. In fact, if you look at the 77-inch model, the 77-inch C10 or CX, it is actually priced at launch the same as what you can buy the 77-inch C9 on the street right now. So looking at various retailers online who are still trading, I think you can buy the 77-inch LG C9 for around £5,000, which is the same price as what you can pre-order the LG CX at. And I think this is a really good move from the part of LG to try and push larger screen sizes into living rooms. I know maybe they are thinking that with the pandemic and with lots of economy grinding to a halt, that maybe people won't be able to afford high prices for large-sized OLED, so they have decided to price it at £5,000. But I really do welcome this move because I haven't seen a 77-inch OLED that has been priced below £5,000 at launch, and this LG CX is going to be the first one. Now, obviously, the CX compared with the C9, again, because I haven't received a review sample, I'll come to that later. I haven't received a review sample. I don't exactly know what are the benefits or the shortcomings versus the C9. Should you just hold out for the CX, or should you just go and buy a C9, which is likely to run out fairly soon? I think, once the new models come in. It is a question that I believe I can answer if I have a review sample here, but unfortunately I don't. And the 55-inch C10 or CX at £1,800 is a good £700 cheaper than the C9 55-inch at launch last year, and the 65-inch CX is going to be £500 cheaper than the C9 at launch. So I think across the board there has been some really pleasant price reduction, and I think that maybe perhaps if you are thinking about buying a C9, there may be an argument that let's just wait a bit for the CX or C10 and see whether there have been some improvements, however slight, because you are getting a newer model 1 year later, which is more likely to get updated going into the future. So that's from the point of view of the 55-inch, 65-inch, and also the 77-inch versions. Now let's talk about the smallest 48-inch model. Now, some of you may think that 1,500 quid is going to be quite expensive for what is going to be the smallest model. And to be fair, I think most of us in the industry have already predicted that the price of the 48-inch model isn't going to be drastically cheaper than the 55-inch model. The reason for this is because of the way they have to cut the panel. They can't really, from a mother glass, magically generate many more pieces of 48-inch panels than a 55-inch panel. So 1,500 is the ballpark price. Well, it's the launch price for the 48-inch CX. But I think, from the point of view of the general market, because remember at CES, I gave the award of the best TV of CES 2020 to the 48-inch CX. And that is because I firmly believe that it will blow away any other gaming monitor or any other sub 50-inch display on the market because of OLED's self-emissive capabilities. It is capable of true blacks, it is capable of vibrant colors, wide viewing angles, it has a super slim panel, and it has near instantaneous pixel response time, so you won't get much in the form of black smearing when dark objects travel across a white background. And also, LG has really done a lot of things to try and make their OLED TVs appealing to gamers as well. Because, they have G-Sync compatibility, they will be supporting full HDMI 2.1 in terms of 4K at 120Hz support, not only on one port, but on all 4 HDMI ports. And also, there will be FreeSync support coming in the future in the firmware update. It obviously supports HDMI VRR as well. So for a gamer, I think the CX series, especially the 48-inch version, if you are going to be using it as a desktop monitor, I think it is probably still too big to be used as a desktop monitor, but just sit a bit further or put your desk a bit further. The 48-inch C10 or CX will have the highest PPI or pixels per inch across any, say, 4K OLEDs out there. And I believe that 1,500 quid, although it is probably a bit on the expensive side given the general scheme of things, I think it is still going to blow away any other sub 50-inch displays or monitors on the market, because let's face it, all along in the sub 50-inch category, we have always only had LCD panels. The best versions are likely going to be the 49-inch QLEDs from Samsung or 49-inch full array local dimming sets from Sony. So I think when the 48-inch C10 actually comes into the market, probably around June, hopefully, it will just basically be the best display on the market, not only for movie consumption in the sub 50-inch category, but also for gaming. So if you think that 1,500 quid is a bit expensive, maybe you can wait until Black Friday or near Christmas time, when the price will probably come closer to £1,000. I mean, that's if Black Friday or Christmas is still happening because of what's going on around the world. And this brings us to something I want to talk to you about with regards to review samples. So normally around this time, I would have received a few review samples from various TV manufacturers. But I think with what's going on around the world at the moment, there will be a wait that's longer than the toilet queue on an EasyJet flight to Tenerife. That's if anyone's sensible is still flying these days. So I really want to get into buying my own review samples just to get things rolling in a quicker manner. But I've basically stopped calibrating, so I can no longer use my calibration income to supplement my YouTube reviewing activities. And I think the key message from the WHO That's the World Health Organization, not the band. To tackle the pandemic is to test, and I really want to do that here as well. In my last video, some of you have kindly offered to support me on Patreon. I'm not on Patreon yet, but I'm thinking about opening up the channel membership for this HDTV Test YouTube channel, and if you can financially support me, I'll be using the money to buy some TVs in to review, and hopefully I can give you some insights that no other publication or reviewers can give in terms of the nitty-gritty and the technical details, especially in comparison to last year's model or just with similar models from other manufacturers. So I'm considering that. Let me know your thoughts, whether you would be happy to support it, or I'm just really barking in a vacuum currently. But yeah, I think from the point of view of LG's 2020 OLEDs, it is fairly enticing. Oh, I forgot to mention about the GX and the ZX and the WX OLEDs, because I've been just focused on the CX, which I believe is going to be the most popular. The pricing for the BX, the entry-level BX, which will use a step-down processor, hasn't been announced yet, so we will not focus on that. But from what I can see, the GX series will be priced £500 more expensive than the CX series, and then obviously the ZX is really stratospheric in terms of the pricing. The 77-inch ZX 8K OLED will cost you around £25,000, I believe, and the 88-inch ZX will cost around £40,000, which is some £10,000 more expensive than the 88-inch Z9. If you found this video useful, please click the like button and subscribe to the HDTV Test YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.